Welcome to Secrets to Alignment with Savannah Schaffer. I am here to equip you with the belief and energy to make your dreams a reality. Take this time to fill your cup and align with the most vibrant version of you. Hello and welcome back to the Secrets to Alignment podcast with your host, Savannah Schaffer. I am so happy to be here. I am actually filming this podcast episode in my man's study. I always call this the whiskey room. He does not call it that. He calls it the study. If you're watching this live, you can see that this background is just giving the vibes. I feel like with my dark hair, it's just everything. Like I'm kind of really loving this a lot. Our AC went out upstairs, which is where my podcast studio is and our bedroom is. So we have moved everything into our second master bedroom downstairs, and I'm in the whiskey room so I can film this amazing podcast. And I'm so grateful to be here. I feel like I have so much magic to share with you guys. Oh, wait. Okay, before I get started, I just want to say I really hope that you guys are not hearing feedback in this mic right now because it's not set up like on the typical rig that it's set up. Like if you guys ever hear that feedback noise or like a zap or like a weird thing in my podcast, unfortunately, I can never get rid of those. They're so annoying. But also, I am holding my mic today, and usually those like little weird feedback noises come from me like moving my wire or like touching the mic and things. So I'm just praying that this is coming out very, very clearly. And if it's not, I apologize for your ears for this episode, but I do promise you that this episode is about to be so fucking valuable for so many of you guys, because I know that I have struggled with this so much, and I know that there are so many other people who I've talked to that have also dealt with this exact same thing, and that is worrying about the opinions of others. I feel like so many of us are guilty of this, myself included. I feel like up until this year, I've really got a good grasp on it, and that's why I wanted to put together this podcast so that I could give you guys as much support that I possibly can offer you as of right now to let go of the opinions of others and fucking live your life more authentically, live more in your passion, in your purpose, and just honestly, fuck the opinions of others. Like, get rid of the noise in your head and the overthinking and the overanalyzing and all of that kind of stuff. I understand and I relate to it so deeply that I'm finally like, okay, I can absolutely serve you guys. Even if I'm just like one step ahead of you or 10 steps or whatever, I know that I could just be like a little baby step in front of you, and I want to support you. I want to help you as much as I can right now. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So first and foremost, I have noticed myself dealing with the opinions of others in many aspects of my life. In the past, I've been really worried about what others will say, and I've noticed this affecting not only how I show up like online, but also in person, in my relationship, in my friendships, and sometimes to complete strangers. And I feel like that is the really trippy thing, is that we want validation, we want acceptance, and we want to be liked from individuals no matter who they are. It's just like this innate human desire to be liked by people. And when you start to let go of that and you start to understand maybe where it's coming from, and you follow the 5 steps that I have for you today of how to let go of the opinions of others, you start to live your life in so much more freedom and authenticity and just happiness at the end of the day. When we care so deeply about the opinions of others and what other people are saying, we're not able to live authentically. We start to put ourselves in boxes. We start to show up as a watered down version of ourselves. We try to please others. We start to hide aspects of ourselves just to fit in. And in turn, this is actually hindering our unique expression to actually magnetize things into our lives. If we're constantly worried about what everyone else is thinking about us, then we are not being ourselves. We're just being another version of what someone else wants us to be. And a lot of times, this actually boils down to us not even liking or accepting ourselves ourselves, it makes us feel so lost in life. It makes us feel stuck in life. It makes us feel like we are never, ever accepted or loved, and no one truly understands us. And the longer that we try to please others' opinions of us, we actually end up turning our own opinion, our own belief, our own individuality down. And with that, we lose parts of ourselves. So this is why it's so important for us to actually do the work necessary to let go of these opinions of everyone else and just truly fall into more self-belief, more trust, more self-confidence, because that's going to get you so many more places in life than self-doubt will. And if you're constantly trying to be liked, then you're really telling the universe that you think that you're not liked as you are right now. You think you're not accepted as you are right now. And therefore, you're always going to be chasing and seeking that validation, that acceptance from others, and you're never going to have it. So it has to start with you. It has to start from within, and it has to be you coming to a place where you truly love and accept yourself, and then that will be reflected externally. Imagine how much time you have spent just thinking and spending your energy on the opinions of others. Will they like you? Will they like what you're wearing? Will they like what you talk about? Will they like the way that you sound? Will they like the way that you present yourself? Whether that's your partner in life, whether that's your partner's family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's people who you've never even met before. Maybe you're going to a bridal party and you know you're going to be meeting new people and you're really like stuck in your head worrying about what people are going to think. That right there, you're spending so much energy, hun, on all of these opinions of others, when in reality, the thing that you should be spending time on is just loving and accepting yourself as you are right now, with all of the weirdness, with all of the quirks, with all of the aspects of yourself that maybe at one point in time you shut down, or someone else shut down in front of, or someone else shut down in you. I want you to really look at that side of yourself, whether you're in the mirror or whatever. Like, I love doing these kind of exercises in the mirror. Like, I will make the silliest faces. I will say the stupidest of things. I will do dumb shit in my life. And I always will just like laugh about it and be like, I fucking love that I'm like that. I love my weirdness. I love every aspect of myself that other people can't handle or that are way too much for certain people. I'm choosing to love myself exactly as I am. And that brings all the power back to me. That makes me the most magnetic version of myself, because people sense that. They feel that ease, they feel that presence everywhere that I go, and they admire the confidence. And that confidence gets you places that you never even could imagine for yourself. When you let go of the opinions of others, you're able to live your life freely. You're able to fully experience every single moment. You're able to just do the things that you've always wanted to do because you love and accept every aspect of yourself. You have so much more energy and enthusiasm for life. You have so much more excitement and inspiration and creativity because you're not watering yourself down to please the opinions of everyone else around you. And this magnetizes opportunities, ideas, and so much more your way. That self-confidence that comes from just trusting and believing in yourself, it leads to many opportunities, so many connections in life. It could lead you to your new best friend. It could lead you to your life partner. It could lead you to incredible connections that literally change your life forever. And it all starts with you learning how to let go of the opinions of others. So I'm going to break down the 5 steps so that you can let go of the opinions of others and fuck the noise and decide to live your life fully and authentically. Number 1, understanding where this has come from. Number 2, becoming aware of the thoughts in your head. Number 3, redirecting the thoughts itself. Number 4, reflecting after the situation occurs. And number 5, letting go, surrendering, and relaxing. These 5 steps are going to support you in becoming the most loved, trusted, abundant, authentic version of yourself. So let's break these down a little further. This podcast right here is supporting you with understanding how it can affect you. And I also think a big part of this is also understanding maybe where this has come from within us. So I know personally that I have always been one to pick myself apart. I've always judged myself. I've always had this outlook on me that like I have to have the highest expectations of myself. And in some ways that's super supportive. And in others, it can actually be so detrimental to my self-confidence and my self-trust. And what I've recognized when I actually peel back the layers and I realize what has contributed to me wanting to please others and to be liked and to be accepted, unfortunately, it has actually come from my immediate family and feeling really judged or like I wasn't good enough or like I had to exceed their expectations to be loved. This could be coming from so many different directions, whether that's your personality, whether that's your looks, whether that's just the way that you express yourself. If you are constantly told that you're being too much or that you shouldn't be wearing that or you shouldn't talk like that or you're always kind of being put into a box in a sense, that's going to lead you to feeling like you have to water yourself down and not be the authentic version of yourself because you're worried that you won't be accepted. And long term, that can lead to a life of you feeling really lost, feeling like you don't know yourself, feeling like you're stuck and like you're constantly living for other people instead of you. So understanding where this comes from and really doing the inner work to just kind of like doing some self-inquiry and going inwards and just asking yourself like, why do I feel the need to please others? Where in my life have I been trying to please others? Where in my life have I been affected by the opinions of others? And also, whose opinions are really valid here? Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that truly fucking matters is the opinion of yourself. That is what's going to dictate the way that you live your life and the way that you present yourself towards others. When you are coming from this loving and compassionate place within you, you are going to create that energy external to you. And if you don't, let's say like you still get negative feedback from the people who you love the most or the people who you wish accepted you, then you can actually take a step back and be like, actually, this isn't me. This is not me at all. And I'm perfect the way that I am. I accept myself the way that I am. And if they choose not to accept me, they are either projecting their own feelings about themselves. This tends to be what it is. If you have someone in your life who is telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not pretty enough, that you're not skinny enough, or anything like that, that person, they are either projecting their energy, their own thoughts onto you, or it is a reflection of how you personally feel internally. And deep down, there's a part of you who's constantly thinking, I'm not good enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not pretty enough. And then that is being reflected through the relationships in your life. So just take a moment to see, like, is this a reflection from this person or is this a projection from this person? I know for me, I've had a lot of projecting onto me where I haven't really felt that way internally. Like I wasn't pretty enough or skinny enough or whatever, but someone external to me pointed that out and then I felt, oh my gosh, like I need to do that. Or I've watched people close to me judge others and then I take note of that and I'm like, okay, so they don't like when someone else does this, so I'm not going to do that. And therefore I water myself down. I put myself in a box. I make myself smaller and then I'm not showing up as the most authentic, vibrant, and light version of myself. And that is so incredibly important. Like when we are the lightest version of ourselves, when we are the most radiant and vibrant version of ourselves, we truly get to just shine and light up other people's lives. We get to show other people what it's like to live authentically. And that is such a beautiful ripple effect. You show your children that, you show your friends that, you show everyone in your life that it's okay to be silly, it's okay to be weird, it's okay to be completely yourself because you accept yourself and you're willing to accept others for all aspects of themselves as well. And that is something that's just such a beautiful relationship between you and the people that you love so dearly. Literally, as I'm filming this right now, I'm getting emotional because I'm like, damn, like, this is the kind of stuff that I am meant to share with the entire fucking universe. And I'm so excited. I literally cannot wait for this podcast to pop the fuck off because it needs to impact so many more lives than it currently is. And it's already impacting a lot. It's impacting 47 countries across the world, which is so fucking cool. Like, there are people in 47 countries who are listening to this podcast right now as I'm saying it. And that is unfathomable, but I know that there are so many more people who need to hear this. And if you're currently listening to this and it's hitting for you, please send this to your friends, share this on social media, tag me. I really want to get this message out because I know how much the opinions of others can truly affect us and how we live our lives. So number one, you really want to come to a place of understanding. Number two, you want to build this awareness that every single time you start to have these thoughts of, oh my gosh, like they need to like me, or I'm not good enough, or you start to have those moments where you notice that you're kind of spiraling internally, or that you're changing what you're wearing, or you're changing how you're talking, or you're changing the way that you're presenting yourself. In those moments, that awareness is absolutely key, because once you are noticing it, you will start to notice it every single time that it happens. Once you are starting to notice it, you will start to notice it almost every single time that it happens. You have to consciously choose to love and accept yourself. I literally will say this out loud. When I notice that I'm getting into that headspace, I literally will say out loud, I choose to love and accept myself fully as I am. Or I say, it is safe to express myself. It is safe to be me. I make sure to really reaffirm that it is okay and not everyone is gonna like me, but I know I like myself, and that is all that matters. So you want to understand, then you want to become aware, and then next you want to redirect. So just like with those affirmations, you want to redirect your thought process to knowing that it is safe, because a lot of times these experiences will actually activate our fight or flight or fawn response, like that fire up of our nervous system. So we want to down regulate, we want to self-regulate, we want to really ground ourselves in that moment and redirect ourselves to thoughts that are going to support us, like saying I am safe to express myself, or maybe you have to go to the bathroom and just take a couple deep breaths. Sometimes I will do that, like if I'm out or if I'm with friends, or maybe I'm just by myself and I'm starting to notice that I'm getting really caught up in the thoughts in my head, I'm overthinking. I will literally take time to just focus on my breath. And what I personally like to do is I will inhale for a count of 6, and then I will hold for a count of 7, and then I will exhale for a count of 8. So I'll just show you what that looks like right now. So I'll go inhale, so just taking that one breath, it actually signals to your body that you are safe. An inhale for 6, a hold for 7, and an exhale for 8. That's all that it takes. And if you do that a couple times, maybe you do that 5 to 10 times, you will notice that your nervous system will completely reset and your mind will feel so much clearer, and you will be able to reaffirm these things with complete confidence and conviction. It will sink in with your mind knowing that you are safe exactly where you're at, and whatever was causing you that fight or flight or fawn response, you are okay now, and it doesn't need to stress. It truly makes such a big difference. I am just realizing more and more how much our breath is actually the medicine that so many of us need, yet we tend to go external for things. We tend to distract or use substances or get on social media or scroll through TikTok or whatever. And this, just using your breath to reset, can be the most helpful tool that you have available to you, and it's completely free. So you're going to understand where it's coming from. You're going to become aware, and then you're going to redirect. And number 4, you are going to actually reflect on what the situation brought up for you. So maybe it's at the end of the night, maybe it's the day after, maybe it's while you're driving home from wherever that you're at. You want to actually take a moment to reflect on what happened. So for me personally, like this just happened. I've noticed that my nervous system got fired up about 2 weeks ago. It was like on a Friday, a couple weeks ago. And I noticed that I went to a meeting, and then as I like said something in the meeting, I instantly felt my stomach drop and me really get worried about, oh my gosh, like what are they going to think about what I just said? And I started to get into my head, and then I got into my car and I was like, wow, okay. Instead of me judging it, I was like, wow, that is so wild that my body had that response when I said that. Like, that is crazy. I turned to curiosity instead of judgment. So I sat there and was like, wow, okay, that's interesting that that's coming up for me right now. Cool. Let's walk myself through what just happened. Okay, I became aware of the thoughts in my mind. And then after that, I was able to redirect them. And then I took a moment to reflect in the car and was like, okay, all right, so I handled it this way, which I'm really, really proud of myself for even being aware in the situation, for continuously redirecting, for making sure that I feel safe. And then I ended up going home and I actually journaled on it, and I did some breath work as well, because I really wanted to make sure that this was not going to carry on to other times that I'm in meetings, or other times that I'm on calls with clients, or just other times in life in general. Like, I don't want that sticky feeling, or that heart racing type of feeling, or that gut punch, or the stomach drop. I don't want that in my reality. I want my body to know that I'm completely safe as I am, and I don't have anything to worry about. So taking that moment to just reflect and acknowledge yourself and giving yourself some grace, it makes such a big difference. And then number 5, you want to let go, surrender, relax, knowing that it is completely normal to experience what you're experiencing, but you do not have to carry it with you. It's not yours to carry. You're okay. And I literally will say out loud, I relax, I surrender, and I let go. I let go of that. I let go of me worrying about the opinions of others. And I literally will say out loud, like, fuck the opinions of others. Fuck this bullshit in my head. Like, I'm not going to allow myself to subscribe to the overthinking, to the opinions of others, to trying to analyze what they thought or how they perceived me. Like, absolutely not. I am only here to be in a positive place mentally, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I stay in that energy, because from that energy I know that I can attract everything that I want. And if I continuously be in this overthinking, overanalyzing, scarcity, fear-based mindset, anxiety-driven mindset, I know that that's going to only tear me up deeper inside, and I'm not going to get everything that I want. So make sure to do those 5 steps, understand, become aware, redirect, reflect, and then let it go, my love. And this is really going to help if you do this over and over and over again. Like, whenever these situations come up, it is going to help immensely. It's not going to work overnight. Just because you're hearing this does not mean that it's going to work right away. You actually have to integrate and practice these things. And also, I will say that once you are presented with this information today, you are most likely going to be put in situations where you find yourself getting really freaked out about the opinions of others. And the universe, God, source, they are testing you to see if you are actually integrating every single thing that you are learning, and if you are willing to allow these things to sink in with you and utilize the tools now that you have. So next time that you find yourself in that, please come back to this episode, go through these few steps, and make sure to let me know how this is going for you. I'm so curious to know how you guys are utilizing this information and where it's supporting you in your life. I know that it makes such a huge difference, and for me, it's been years of practicing this. But like I said, I feel like this year it's really sunk in with me, and I just am so happy to share it, because I know how many of us get stuck in our heads and worried about these kinds of things, and I just want to be here to help you guys. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please, like I said, share this with someone who you know it would support. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.